Battlefield 1, one of the greatest video games of all time. Battlefield 1 is a first-person shooter war game based off of World War I. It is one of the best first-person shooters of all time, and it is considered by many to be the greatest Battlefield game. But why is that? Why is Battlefield 1 so good? In Battlefield 1, you can play as 4 different classes. Assault, which is basically the class that's responsible for getting kills. Medic, which is the healer class that can heal teammates. Support, which can help give players ammo and also, go up in the front lines like Assault. And Scout, which is a sniper class. In Battlefield 1, you can also drive tanks and fly planes. And you can even ride horses into war. There are lots of different game modes in Battlefield 1. Including Conquest, which is a mode where you rush to capture objectives, all while avoiding being killed. Rush is a mode where a team defends 2 points from an attacking team. When the 2 points get destroyed, the defending team gets pushed back and 2 new points are spawned. Rush ends when either the attacking team gets all the points, or the attacking team runs out of respawns. Air Assault is warfare, but with planes only, basically. TDM as well, it's TDM. First team to get a certain amount of kills wins. Supply drops is, throughout the map, there will be random supply drops falling down and soldiers have to defend those supply drops. War Pigeons is where in the map there are war pigeons and you have to use those war pigeons to send messages. You have to essentially hide from the enemy team while you write your message. Then, after you're done writing your message, you release the pigeon into the wild, and artillery strikes start raining down on the enemy team. Domination is essentially a smaller version of Conquest played on smaller maps. Oh, and there isn't any vehicles either. Operations is basically a mode where there's a series of maps in which the attackers try to push the front line in order to get onto the next map while the defenders try and hold ground in order to stop them from advancing to the next map and stopping the offensive. Frontlines incorporates Conquest's capturing objectives mechanic with rushes pushing up the map mechanic. As you can tell, there are lots of interesting game modes in Battlefield 1. But it's not just the game modes that make Battlefield 1 what it is. Battlefield 1 tries to paint a more darker story of war, especially compared to other more recent Battlefields like Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 5. Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 5 are amazing games. They make you feel like you're in a movie based off the war that it is currently set in though. They don't feel like actual war, not that there's anything wrong with that. But when you play Battlefield 1, you will instantly get PTSD because you will get immersed into Battlefield 1's realistic graphics, insane atmosphere, and amazing gorgeous maps that make you feel like you're actually fighting in the trenches. Battlefield 1 really captures the sad and gloomy feeling of war. Battlefield 1 definitely went for a more realistic approach. Majority of guns, maps, and countries involved are historically accurate. A thing that helps add to Battlefield's atmosphere is the amazing graphics that come with it. Battlefield 1's graphics are extremely well detailed, and even tiny details like the rain cleaning your dirty weapon, the manufacturing dates being on guns, and even the player's breath being visible on cold maps are all tiny details that Battlefield 1 devs put time and love into making sure they were there. Battlefield 1 is rendered using the Frostbite 3 engine, which is common in a lot of EA and EA Sports games, including Madden, FIFA, NHL, Dead Space, Need for Speed, Anthem, Mirror's Edge, Star Wars Battlefront 2, and a bunch more. The soundtrack in Battlefield 1 is beautiful. It perfectly captures the lows and highs of war. The times where you were watching everyone around you die and all hope is lost. And the times where the smallest of hopes turn into the biggest victories. Let me play you some of Battlefield 1's amazing gorgeous, magnificent, spectacular, jaw-dropping soundtrack. Oh wait, it's copyrighted. Okay. I guess I'll just list it down in the description. Battlefield 1 truly has a magnificent atmosphere, and I think personally that's what sets it apart from majority of games. Is that majority of games with their atmospheres paint a sort of picture, but Battlefield 1 does more than that. It goes beyond expectations. It paints a story. I will play you a clip just so you can see what it's like to be in war. On Battlefield 1, of course.
We have taken objective apples.
Battlefield 1 comes with a variety of maps that give you all different emotions and feelings. Battlefield 1 includes breathtaking maps like Giant Shadow, Mont Grappa, Empire's Edge, and many more. It also includes fun and exhilarating maps like Volga River, Ballroom Blitz, Argonne Forest, and again, many more. And of course, I can't forget the PTSD-inducing maps like Passchendaele, St. Quentin's Scar, and Amiens. Now, compare this beautiful masterpiece to the absolute dogshit pile that is Battlefield 2042. Bugs, less game modes, you can't select the squad you'll join, cringe voice lines. The fact no scoreboard list was included because, well, I'm so bad that I have to complain to EA about removing important features of the game. Even now, in 2023, Battlefield 2042 still feels lackluster. It doesn't feel realistic, and I understand that it's not trying to be realistic, but it just feels like I'm playing a piece of plastic. It just feels artificial, and it feels like there was no love put behind it. Seems like EA will never ever reach the same levels as it did with Battlefield 1. Our hopes can't be high for the next Battlefield game, but what we can do is we can still appreciate the past while being on the lookout for the future. Perhaps the next Battlefield game will be a masterpiece. Maybe it'll be a pile of shit, who knows. Whichever the case, we will still have Battlefield 1 as a masterpiece game that will be remembered for decades to come. That is, in my opinion, why Battlefield 1 is one of the greatest games of all time. Down from the realistic graphics, to the breathtaking atmosphere, to the fun game modes, to the historically accuracy of the guns, countries, and maps, Battlefield 1 overall is an extremely fun World War I shooter. I recommend you all play it. But I'm not done with Battlefield 1 just yet. The next time we discuss about Battlefield 1, I will be discussing about its campaign. Because Battlefield 1 is such a massive game with so many different things, I will have to split this video into two parts. This one just covering the multiplayer and the general basis of the game, and the next covering the actual campaign of the game. Like, just listen to this gorgeous soundtrack. You guys are honestly amazing.